Wow, ripping. I know it requires a weird amount of skill. If you do not want to make money in this bull market, you have to be very good at sucking. Nevertheless, I want to show my strategy now that Bitcoin is pushing at all-time highs of $81,000 and the altcoin market going with it a little bit, on how I'm planning on making more money than the market is actually offering us, because we can play this better than what the market gives us. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on. Let's get right into it. So with Bitcoin at $81,353 at the moment of recording, it is of course beautiful to see how this works. We were in this downwards trend, we broke out, and now we are absolutely ripping. Some people say it's because of Trump. It might help, but then again, it's the seasonality of crypto. If we take a look where we are in the current cycle, let me take a real quick look if we can find it that quick. Yeah, there we go. You can basically see that we're doing nothing different than what we always did, right? And I'm a big fan of yelling every day into a camera that this time is not different. And so far the market is showing like, hey, here you go. You'll see it is not different. And that's super bullish. Because if this time is not different, we have a long bull market to go. Plus, we have an alt season to go. Now, of course, you can buy the open market and you can search for the best coins. And yeah, if you realistically ask me, like, okay, if I just go buy coins on exchanges right now, how much returns can I make within now and a year?
I'm going to put it in 75x to be relatively conservative.
Why not 5,000x, right? I got a new stream deck. I'll call it my meme deck, and I'll put all these stupid videos. It's just so funny, man. But nah, it's like, I don't think this is the kind of bull market where every coin is going to do a 50 or 100x like some people like to call. We, of course, have coins that are older than time, and these coins just won't perform. But we know it is a bull market if even Cardano is pumping. Like, Cardano pumped 76% this week, man. Like, wow. Crazy, right? This thing went sideways and down for so long that all of a sudden it had a rip. And also you could say like, yeah, that's because of this and that news. Bro, it's a bull market, man. These kind of things happen right now. So how am I going to make the most out of this bull market? Well, it's a combination, because I don't like to put all my eggs in one basket. I like to invest on the open market, of course, into coins that are strong. And how to find these strong coins, there are two ways basically to do it. One is just by looking what the altcoin market did on average, and then comparing your coin to it to see if it did better or worse. So for example, if we go to others, the altcoin market, you can see that this month, the altcoin market is so far up 22%. If we look at the same chart for C5, for example, S Fund, it's up 40%, right? And this is what we said earlier, like launchpads are the clear outperformer. We've seen it here at the beginning this year. Also, when everything pumped, C5, for example, outperformed the market, right? Launchpads are going to be one of the biggest outperformers. And now in this smaller pump that we have so far, you can already see C5 outperforming the average altcoin market with around 2x. So that's a way to look at coins like, hey, how is it doing compared to the rest of the market? But what you also want to look for are just altcoins on their Bitcoin pair. Is there strength, right? And if there's strength, then it might be an interesting one. Like, for example, this Cardano, right? And actually, if you look at Cardano, like, hey, yeah, they had a nice pump. But let's be real. It's also because they never stopped crashing as soon as this pump happened, right? They went only down, basically. And they had a similar pump over here. So I'm not saying that Cardano will not go up in this bull market, but it is, clearly an underperformer. And you want to look at altcoins on their Bitcoin pair like, hey, did they at least ever stop, putting in lower lows this cycle? AVAX Bitcoin, for example, it put in the low right here, and although it went down again, it did not take out that low. So AVAX is clearly one of the stronger coins, right? Well, that's a way to look at the market and identify what's actually strong and what you could better, stay away from. There are multiple ways to make sure that you outperform the market. And I will get into the juiciest in at the last one, by the way. But they're all like, I think, worth it. Look for coins that you can stake, but not for a year or whatever, right? Because probably, I think in a year from now, the bull market is going to end, give or take, right? So, but it could be a little sooner, of course. What you don't want to do is stake your tokens for 2 years, right? Or a year even, then find out that the bull market is stopping and you cannot unstake your tokens. That's what you're doing it for, right? But there are also tokens that you can stake for a month, right? 2, 3 months, 6 months, even fine, I think. But I will be careful doing longer than that. So, for example, I'm staking Wild World, I'm farming Wild World, right? And this is a nice extra, actually, because I don't know exactly what my APY is. I think like 10%. But if you have a crypto portfolio of $100,000, for example, and you're staking it for 10%, which is already a lot, you get $10,000 over the span of a year for free, right? Let's say that coin does a 5x. It's $50,000. That's a decent salary, right? So that's free money, basically. So don't ignore that. Just look at the coins that you can stake and consider staking them. You can stake Wild, you can stake Super, Sparta, Solana. I bet you can stake it somewhere. Sidus, Seedify. You can almost stake any coin, right? But be a little careful with the duration that you're staking them, at least. Now, another way to outperform the market, of course, is by shuffling, right? We know how it goes. We first have Bitcoin. That's what we saw. Then usually we have Ethereum. Ethereum is not really performing yet. And, it's more that the altcoin market now goes up because, Bitcoin is just crushing through all-time highs, right? Bitcoin is really making fat all-time highs. Most of the altcoins, a lot of people are like, for example, very positive about Solana, and I hold it. But Solana isn't making new all-time highs yet, right? See, Bitcoin is doing better than Solana. Said it. A lot of people don't like it if I say that, I guess. But it is a fact. But yeah, the altcoin market still has some catching up to do. So look where the money might potentially flow and be there before that happens, right? And one way you can do that, again, is by very simply looking like, okay, you know what? We first have Bitcoin, then the higher caps, and then the smaller caps. And of course, there are already some smaller caps popping off, right? But for example, now we have AVAX, which is pretty high cap, doing really fine, 25%. It outperformed the average altcoin market slightly. For a high cap, that's really good. But at a certain point, this is getting too high cap and it's getting too much price discovery, etc. And people, they want to put it into something, higher return. And then you might be like, okay, let's then put it in Joe, for example, right? The DEX on Solana or whatever. So, shuffle. It's important. This is the time to be active. You can choose, of course, to, if you don't want to make it too complicated for yourself, buy your spot bags and don't look back in a year. I think eventually that's even the winning strategy because it takes the emotion out of the game. But if you have your emotions under control and you feel like, I want to do some extra work for some extra reward, then this is a really good way to do it, actually. Then there's another way, and this is the way that makes most money. And that's by, again, being early. And by being early, I do, for fuck's sake, do not mean go on Pump Fun and buy all these scam tokens because these meme coins will fucking rock you. They will scam you. They're trash, okay? I'm not talking about the cult meme coins, the brats, the whatever. These are great. I have some. But the lower ones, that's too early, right? You have to be early in the right stuff. Now, how can you be early in something and still feel like, okay, I'm not taking too much risk? Yeah, again, I said it before, launch pads, right? And I'm now clicking Seedify, but there are many launch pads, and I'll give another example of a launch pad that I like very much and that have a pretty cool sale today. Another one is paid network. Well, I'm exposed right here. I have some paid network, and I talked about this way earlier already, because price-wise, I said, like, guys, you know, this area of 4 or 5 cents, this is where it struggled before it shot up, right? We came all the way down to it. So, like, this is the buying opportunity. This is the level, right? 2x from here. This was the most obvious trade ever, right? Most obvious trade ever. I bought it a little earlier because don't try to time the bottom. But in this case, if you did try to time the bottom, it would have worked. Crazy. But paid network is a very good launchpad, which is not only about gaming. Like Seedify, for example, is very much about gaming, right? And we spoke a lot about Seedify in this channel, and I will keep talking about it, whether you like it or not. You just accept it. But as you can see, paid network does a lot. GameFi, DeFi, blockchain services, so layer ones, whatever, others, right? RWA, whatever. Now, they have some great launches in a bull market because, again, also, if you look at paid network at their all-time high ROI, right? What do you notice about the date when it happens? Here you go. It's all pre-halving year. Right? Not only that, it's kind of most of it September, August, December, November, October, December. Kind of the second leg of the post-halving year. And that's within a year from now. That's the moment for altcoins, and especially for new launches. Now, again, I said this before, but I do think that if Trump decides to indeed fire Gensler, and the SEC might be a little laid back about the fact that US citizens cannot participate in launchpads, and if that will be changed, look, launchpads are going to blow up anyway. But if that will change, then launchpads are going to really explode, right? And not only the launchpad tokens, but actually the projects that release right there. Look, I mean, 260x, 190, 180, 170, 130x, right? Of course, that's not exactly what you're getting out of it because it's getting vested, and this was the exact high. But let's say 260x. You sell your, I don't know, 10% vesting at a 200x, you still have a 20x to go that you already have, plus the vesting, right? Plus you have multiples of those. So in a full bull, yeah, people want to participate in new launches. But people flooded the fuck out of these launch pads back down here because they thought like, yeah, it's not coming back. Too many launch pads are there. Too many projects releasing now. Too high FDV, right? Nobody has the money for it. Yeah, but that's bear sentiment. We are now approaching. If you are here later than 2021, then you don't even know yet how that full bull sentiment feels. But it's scary as fuck, right? It's scary. It goes faster than you can think, and that's like, wow. So the sentiment, yeah, it will completely shift, and people will be fully euphoric about this again. Now, I do want to make a good mention here, right, by the way, because Paid Network is now releasing Blast Royale, and that's coming like now, right? Like in 2 hours or so it is. Let me see. Yeah, the pool opens in 2 hours, so by the time you watch the video, I will try to release this video early. Blast Royale, insane. Like crypto game. Look, if you also... crypto gaming, bro. If you fade that this cycle, sorry, but then you're a moron, man. It's like, it's so obvious what the biggest narrative in crypto is going to be. It's gaming. It's not meme coins, right? And I will be probably the only one that says that. But you have to think about this. How many meme coins are there? 20, 30, 40 million? How many big winners do we have? 20, 30, 40? Right? Actually, if you see it like that, then meme coins are such an underperformer. It's such a super bad sector. Either go with the winners or don't go in it at all, right? But with gaming, it is so different, right? This is the only sector in crypto, I'm very outspoken about that, that has a use case that's actually fully being used, right? Of course, DEXs are being used right? But crypto is completely different. I mean, Off the Grid had just as many transactions. That's one single game, right? As the whole base chain, one of the most popular chains, chain number 6 or so. And that's just one game. There will be way more than that. Blast Royale has a million downloads already. It's quite crazy. They have good numbers. 1.1 million downloads, 10 million matches played, and 750,000 active players. It's crazy. So what's so cool about Paid Network, and I want to show you this, is they tweeted something that is really interesting, and this is what Cetify also talks about a lot, and therefore I love Cetify, and Paid is going the exact same route. So I'm really, really vocal about Paid lately. It's really great. They say the game has changed, introducing Paid LCO model where smart money meets fair value. And this is the great thing for you, because you do not need to stake or hold Paid tokens to participate in these open pool rounds. You can participate. Just go to paidnetwork.com, make an account, and the open pool rounds you can participate. Right? For this project, for example, they're going to raise $1.5 million, I thought it was. I'm pretty sure. So it's not that you are probably getting $1,000 allocation or so. But even $10 allocation, bro, you don't have to do shit, right? And if the project does 100x or whatever, which happens quite frequently in a big bull market, yeah, then you're getting some nice free money to actually buy your way up into Paid. Huh? It's the way. This is the way, guys. This is the cheat code in crypto. Now, Paid is very vocal about, looking at projects with a fully diluted market cap of around 10 million, right? Because the problem is all these launches lately, yeah, let's be real, they sucked. We had Portal at $500 million market cap. We had CK Sync. We had Starknet. Like all these, they were so high. And of course, the price now lower, right? But that's not like, then don't release something in Web3. You need investors. Investors, like, we support products, of course, but you also invest money because you want to see return on your investment. Yeah, and if tokens are getting dumped on the market by all these VCs and whatsoever, yeah, who are we kidding, right? These are some things that Paid is dealing with fantastically, that Cetify is also dealing with fantastically. That Decubate is doing really well as well, right? If you look at the good launch pads, you're gonna make it in this bull market. And this is a part of your preparation, of course, right? I mean, Cetify was like 3 times as low. Paid was way lower. Will you buy the bottom right now? No. If you use dollars instead of Bitcoin, then you are not buying the bottom. But 1, you should not try to time the bottom in the first place. And 3, let's say with Paid, right? Let's go to the market cap. That's fair, I think. Look, it sits at a market cap of $30 million. Look, last cycle, it went to 460. Yeah, I don't see a reason why it cannot go back there, actually. There's more competition right now, yes, but it's also a better product. Plus, in a bull market with more money. So, yeah, I mean, with a 12x potential upside, if you compare it to the last peak at least, yeah, then if you buy it at 30 million or 15 million, of course, it's eventually a big difference, but you still have a lot of upside, right? And I think the longer people wait right now, the more that upside is slipping out of your hands, to be honest, right? Now, I am very interested in Blast Royale. I think this is a great project, actually. And what I also like is my noob way of doing research is I just follow a lot of accounts on Twitter, big accounts, people, influencers, projects, so that I can see, like, hey, is Blast Royale also followed by important people? Not that you are less important than, but you know what I mean. And yeah, the answer is yeah, right? They have these big influencers like Virtual Bacon, etc. And I think who was that other guy that spoke about it? Like, well, big influencers. You see, the Seedify team is following them. A lot of other projects, Superverse, right? Like crazy. Immutable X is following them. A lot of people, actually. The whole crypto, even Delesium, right? Where was it? Delesium's following like crazy, man. So they have important eyes on them. That's super important, man. That's super important. So I'm very curious. It looks like it's going to be a paid exclusive round. So again, I will try to drop the video right now. And what you always want to do with these new projects, so this is the noob token. What you always want to do is go to CryptoRank and see like, okay, how is it releasing? Look, the seed round was in 2022 already, right? And we have big investors right there. Shima Capital is interesting. Dragonfly and Amoka, right? Like, okay, that's great. However, we now have just paid and gate. Paid and gate, right? The paid gate. And the seed round, like this won't stand in our way, really. I will do another video where I'm gonna pop up the vesting because I haven't prepared that. But this is not standing in the way, actually. So this might also be a project that you can actually just, buy on the open market after the sale. I don't say it a lot, but I think this stage of the market we can. I said it about Seed World as well. So far it's like 3-4x, right? Yeah, this one also. I think this could be a banger, man. I mean, community gets 7.5% at TGE. Yeah, that's a nice vesting during the bull, but it's not a big dump fest on TGE. So it kind of looks like a win-win for everybody in this case. So yeah, there's a lot to go over, but I don't want to make this video all about this. But do check it out, paidnetwork.com. This is not like that they didn't pay me or whatever. I know that people like to ask these questions. They did it. For sure not. But I am able to participate in this round. And I love to participate in this round with my own money, right? Apart from that, bro, look, the bull market for altcoins might have begun now as well, right? We were in a bull market for Bitcoin the whole time. Even here, I mean, a bull market also has periods where it goes sideways, right? But the altcoin market was actually really down. We could not really have called this a bull market anymore. I think it has become. We clearly broke out, if you draw a very simple trend line right here, right? We clearly broke out. You could even say broke out, retested, and now go up. So that's beautiful, of course. And in a bull market, you will see big pullbacks, right? If you go to for example, this one was really intense. But if you go to the 2017 bull market, you occasionally have pullbacks that look like 60% right here. And even this shorter one, 50% right there. And then we had whatever, like this is really terrible, man. 64%. Like if that happens one time right now, everybody will say that it's over, right? But I'm not saying we get these big pullbacks anymore. The liquidity is, of course, completely different this time. But once we start really going up with the altcoin market, we will see big pullbacks, right? And I honestly think now is really the time to just buy any freaking dip there is on the good quality projects. I made a video not too long ago saying that I think there's a good chance that Altseason now has begun. The thing is, we don't know if Altseason has begun until it began for a while already. What do I mean? Look, Altseason is where the dominance for Bitcoin goes down, right? It's where altcoins start to outperform. Yeah, here Altseason begun, basically. But, we also had candles down here, or down here, or down here, or down here, right? So by this weekly candle or 2 or 3, you can't really tell yet, right? So in hindsight, we can say like, hey, look, this was the start of Altseason. Could it be that this is the beginning? I don't know. It could very well. It could do also this and then. But look, we are closer to the start than not, right? If you look at the others' dominance, yeah, altcoin dominance, beautiful. This is going to be an Altseason. And if you look at this on the monthly stochastic RSI, Hey, every time before an alt season started, we were sitting very low as well, right? So it could definitely be for the altcoin market. Let me see if it shows. Stochastic RSI is also kind of, flipping around again. So it looks really bullish. And if you look at the Bitcoin dominance, you can see that it's really overbought right here, right? So this should go down. It all lines up, man. So I think there are many chances in crypto. I think that things could go higher than people think. I got a comment on my channel. Somebody said like, yeah, Bitcoin is not even going to do a 3x from here. So the price targets that you gave for your altcoins, like 10x, 15, maybe something, right? It's not going to happen. Bro, believe me, a bull market, it is going to give you unrealistic valuations. Because look, Bitcoin, it's not even the post-halving year. We are already sitting at 81K. Take a little bit of liquidity out of that Bitcoin and put it into the altcoin market, and they 5x already. Let alone if Bitcoin goes well over 100K and the Bitcoin dominance really goes down. It doesn't take much for altcoins to pump really hard. And the thing is, there is much, right? There is a lot of money. China printing money, US gonna print money. It is there, right? And people are now deploying their USDT. How stupid are these people, right? Like Bitcoin is sitting at all-time highs basically, and now people are really deploying USDT like their life depends on it. Right? They could have done that anywhere, but they do it here. That's FOMO. FOMO gets the ball rolling, and it like nobody will give a shit about a 160 C to 5, for example. But as soon as this thing is $5, everybody wants to buy it. And that goes for most of these coins right here. Right? AVAX, people now still say, buy Solana, buy Solana, buy Solana. And although I love Solana, I hold Solana. I think it's a great project and it will do fantastic this bull market. I think AVAX has way more upside, right? Nobody now gives a fuck about AVAX at $30. Once it goes beyond 70, people will be like, wow, this is the Solana killer or whatever, right? Like everything is going to kill everything in the bull market. Like, try to ignore that. Try to be the one that sees that before it happens. And sometimes you will get a couple of calls that don't work out. Whatever, doesn't matter. I will call coins in this bull market a lot more. I didn't call that much coins in the bear, of course, because everything goes down, right? No, I will. And in a bull market, it is really easy to get the winner. So I'm not a genius if I get a couple right. But I will also get a couple wrong. Because in a bear market, there are always coins that go up. In a bull market, there are also always coins that go down, right? And that's still the risk in this market. And you just have to make sure that you are well diversified, right? So take profits along the way. If you put a certain amount of money in and you do it 2x, just take your initial out, right? Yeah, if it goes up more, you could have had more. But then again, you also make sure that you are not able to lose because you came in crypto to win money. So let that losing not be an option, right? So take your initial out, stake it wherever you can, reshuffle, know the cycle, right? Be early in these launch pads because again, that's going to be one of the biggest narratives this bull market. I don't hear a lot of people talk about it. I hope that that you are willing to consider what I'm saying. Because it will. Very simple. It will. This is a no-brainer to me. And again, know about cycles. This is important, guys. Right now, like this stage of the market is gonna show how good you are at crypto. And that's kind of it. Because in the last couple of years, yeah, it didn't require a lot of skill. If you look at altcoins on the Bitcoin pair, for example, right? Basically, there was a very long time not to be in the market. And at a certain point, there was a time to be in Bitcoin. And now altcoins are at the lows on the Bitcoin pair. And I think it's now time for altcoins to do their thing, right? They're still sitting super low, right? Super low. I mean, if you like your altcoins on your dollar pair right now, just know that it's only because of Bitcoin sitting over $80,000 because on their Bitcoin pair, they are at trash levels, right? Can you imagine if this goes up a little bit again? Crazy, right? But now your skill and your experience is going to get tested. How good can you handle this? This is going to be stressful. again, the market is going to move faster than you can think. And you're going to be emotional. You're going to take profits too soon, maybe. You're going to take profits maybe too late. You want to counter trade, revenge trade. There are a lot of people that are going to fuck this up. Therefore, really, my biggest tip is take your initial out. That's taking your emotion out as well. And that's key right now. That's really key. If you, again, to wrap it up, there is something in the link down below. There is a link down below to the Patreon. Because we're going to offer private deals right there. We already did with a couple of very, very great projects. But they're going to be way more now in this market. Whether you do it through there, right? The benefit is lower price, basically. But whether you do it through there or you're going to get into Launchpads or whatever, now is a better moment than ever. Really a better moment than ever. Okay? And I said this a couple of times, because if you look at the altcoin market, we are very comparable to this right here, in my opinion. Right? We went down, found the bottom, we had a run up, we crashed 60%, and now we're going up again. Right? We went down, found the bottom, ran up, crashed with 60%, and now we're going up again. In this stage of the market, nobody believed in new coins. Nobody. Right? Or nobody had the money for it. Or whatever. The ones that did invest, they got more allocation. Right? Here. That was already clear, I think. But they got more allocation because nobody wanted to invest. And the ones that had a big allocation, they could have invested a lot. And they made a lot of money as well because they got their tokens vested during this stage of the market. I think this is exactly where we are right now. Exactly. Therefore, this is the golden moment right now. So, plus, a lot of people are still fudding it. You know what that means, right? A lot of people were fudding Ethereum as well. Well, I don't know, but it's not that. It's, a matter of fact, doing very well at the moment. A lot of people were fudding Solana at $8, right? If there's FUD, buy the fuck up what you can, man, really. So that's it for today, guys. I want to wrap it up right here, otherwise it's taking too long. But yeah, I will be very active in this bull market to make sure that I will let you know what I'm doing. If you want to see my complete portfolio, what I'm buying, when I'm taking profits, etc. Also in the Patreon, you have full insights in what I hold, how much, etc. Plus more. But nevertheless, you should do really freaking fantastic this year. And this is our year right now. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you're going to make it. Really, I hope so. And if you want to like the video, comment something down below. It would help me a lot. See you guys very soon.